Hey everybody, welcome to another video. This one is a new series I'm creating. It's about sequels, adaptations, and reboots for series that I want to see. And the first series I want to talk about, because this one hit me really hard, was Infinite Stratos Season 3. And who haven't seen it, spoiler from then out to the end of this video. But the main thing about this series I also should mention is a mecha harem, so as I say, to stream it, not buy it, unless you want to buy it, that'd be cool too. And the first thing I want to talk about is a nutshell of season 1, so let's begin with the characters. First, we had Ishika or Hime, or Arhama, I don't even know if I'm saying his last name right. He's basically the first male user of a female mecha kind of machinery that's only used for females. So basically that way he joins the school, and basically the joke around it is that if he doesn't join, he gets dissected by the fucking FBI. Next, after, or where is Japan, police are. After that we have Hoki. She's basically the first heroine we meet, and she's a childhood friend of Ichika, the first childhood friend. And she's just major tsundere, and basically that's her character in a way. But she also cares deeply about Ishika and worries about him. Next is Cecilia. She's the British, what do we call it? Amplify? Fuck, what are they called? Oh my god. It's just in my mind, but she's basically someone who's from Britain who joined because she's one of the representative. There you go, representative. I don't know why that was getting my mind so hard. And see, in that school, you can only have one representative from each country for each year, I think. Don't judge me, because I don't know how that works. And basically, the joke about her, she's rich, she's proud, she can't cook for shit. Basically, that's her character. She's, like I said, she's an airhead kind of deal at times. Next is Ren. She's the second childhood friend. And she's more of a tsundere than Hoki, and she's more like headstrong, you could say, like hot-headed. Next, after that, here's the fourth one. Her name is Charlotte. She's French, and in her story arc, she normally was supposed to be introduced as a boy, but it was like their plan to try sell more of their stuff, I think, of the like French. And I would say she's more gentle than the whole other crew. She's more nicer to Ichika at times. Don't get me wrong, she still gets mad, and she's basically waifu bait number 1 because how kind and nice she is to Ishika. Next is Laura. She's from Germany. She hated Ishika guts, and later on, enjoy his company and fall in love with him. After the joke about her is she calls him his wife, not his wife, her wife, and she's waifu bait number 2 again because the way she acts. After that, they introduce kind of like the side characters, you could say. We have basically 2 major side characters. It's Chufuyu, it's Ichika's older sister, and Maya is basically his homeroom teacher. And, Ichika and Chufuyu, the joke about them is that they have like the conflicts of each other, and then Chufuyu is basically kind of like the kind of like the mother figure. I won't say mother figure, how do I explain? Like, she spoils Ichika basically. And basically, they're the main thing about season 1, and I think this, for me, season 1 plot is kind of more slower than season 2. And don't get me wrong, season 1 is so great. Is that they're introducing all these characters with their basically those are the arc of the season 1. So basically, part 1 arc is Cecilia, part 2 is Ren, part 3 is where they match Charlotte and Laura arc together, and the last arc is Hoki when she gets her mecha finally. And we introduce Hoki, older sister. Her name is Sabana. She's a creator of all Stratos, and she gets interesting in season 2, and there's a reason why I'll explain later. And basically those are the major plot, and then the subplot is basically the story in general is basically there's these special mechas that have no users, but they have the core of like the Stratos, and they're questioning who's sending them. And if I'm not wrong, in the end of season 1 we figure out it's Bana, at least for the second one. I don't know about the first one, but the second one she sent it. I think it's called like the Silver Gospel or something, and she's the one who sent it to introduce her Generation 5 that Hoki was using. And the thing about that is because she did the same thing for the first generation she created, and the way she did it was to hack the nukes and basically send the first Stratos to beat it. And if I'm right, I think Chifuyu used the first ever Stratos. That's the point about that. So after season 1, we head up to season 2. So basically, I think season 2 has a better storyline in general because it's not like little arcs there and there. But the issue is the fan service. I think season 2 hit fan service so fucking hard. I think that's like a giant drag about season 2. And don't get me wrong, fan service is good, but not to the point where it feels like dragging it with season 2. They start introducing the 2 new heroines in the story. It's basically the Takeishi sisters, as I call them. So we got the first one who's older, and her name is Sarushiki? Goddamn, I'm butchering her name. Please for yourself, show an image of her. So basically her. She is basically takes place of training Ichika than the other girls. And she's more of a flirt to Ichika. Yeah, she basically makes him more of a pervert. Which is good in that hint because he is dense as a brick, but there's a reason behind that. Next, after I were introduced to her love sister, I think her name is, unless I'm wrong, they could be twins, but her other sister, her name is Tana. Is she? God damn, I'm just butchering both her names right now. She's kind of like a shy weeble, I'm not gonna lie, because she has a hero complex too. Ichika later down in the series, because at first she was trying nervous around him. She didn't really like him because she thought like he was messing around with her. Not like, like basically, how do I explain? Like bullying her basically, saying like, oh, let me help you. And she thought that was like a bad manner thing. But later down the series, she basically gets like a hero complex around him and kind of like treats him as like a knight in silver armor. So basically those are new heroines, and then now the main antagonist, and that's what I like. There's actually a main antagonist in this series, and then the other season where it was like different fucking mechas is Phantom Task and a girl named Madoka. The interesting about Madoka, the girl named Madoka is she's basically Ichika's little sister, I think. It's lower older, but the interesting about her is she looks exactly like Chifuyu. And there's theories around that. I will say after the whole nutshell of season 2 and OVA, then after there's Phantom Task, and this crew is are basically bounty hunters of Stratos, and they go around taking cores or taking the machine in general. And the leader, her name is Squall. She's basically a blonde. She's, like I said, she's a threat, but we don't see how bad she is. Next is Autumn. She's a fucking psychopath. There's a threat actually with her, and we seen it. She fucking kicks ass. And worrisome too, because I think at one point she would try to bomb the whole fucking school. Anyway, those are two. Basically, that crew is the main antagonist, and then let's talk about the OVA. The OVA is the most interesting plot, I think, because it introduced more of of Ichika core of his Stratos. And there's a reason why. See, in the OVA, the Americans send like a group to like shut down their system. But that, I think, what's her name? Tabana? Fuck, I forgot to mention this. See, alright, I forgot to mention this about Tabana of Hoki's older sister, Tabana. The reason I say about how she's not good from like season 1, or we learn more about her in season 2, because she plays as a gray character in season 2, because she gives a fucking 6th generation, I think, Stratos to Phantom Task, to Madoka. And the crazy part about her, she did it just because she was like, fuck it. I think that's worrisome about her, because like Ichika even brings up how hyper she is. And that kind of shows the gray area she is. Like, she's not good or evil, she just didn't care. That's why I'm saying her character is kind of weird. And definitely OVA shows more weirdness of why she wants to do this, because she creates a solid version of an AI. So basically a droid with an AI, or something like that. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was just so weird. And this AI basically went to Ichika core, and we see what's inside his core. It's basically a dreamscape that we see in episode 1 of season 2. And in that dreamscape, we see the crystal version of another AI. And that leads to the story more further than we expected, because actually the OVA is mostly more fan service. of the girl sleeping into the machine to try to fix it, but they fucked up, and they're having all these different daydreams of like what they want, aka what they want in Ichika. And let me tell you, they're all fucking perverted except Hoki. Hoki was the only one that was pure, which it was funny in my opinion, because like I always expected Hoki to be kind of bad too, but no, she's the only one with the purest one. Even Charlotte, and I was more surprised about that. Anyways, basically the OVA is really fan service, and then the plot is really interesting OVA because it brings up more about Ichika machine and why Tabana is doing that. So basically that's the OVA right there. And basically now we're going to talk about what could be used in season 3. This I believe could be used in 3. 1, the Phantom Task. Basically to defeat them and Madoka. Because there's 2 things that could go with the Phantom Task. 1, Ichika and Chifuyu family are the main leader of that fucking crew. And the reason I believe that is because Madoka is part of that crew. Don't get me wrong, she could have been just part of that crew because she wanted revenge against Chifuyu. But again, it's still kind of weird how she's part of it. Because easily Chifuyu could just go around and be like, fuck yeah, I could just beat them all up on my own. But she doesn't. Next, it's Ichika's system, his Stratos and the core. So my opinion about the AI, in his core is that's probably the reason why he was able to connect and hear voices a lot of times from that system. And the other thing too, if I remember, because I haven't read none of the light novels, but I remember some part of it. If I'm not wrong, because this is spoiler just in general, it's that Ichika's system, his core is connected to the first generation core. So that's a possibility. I could be wrong, I could be wrong. And the other thing I want to bring up is the first generation armor and his armor kind of match. I won't say like fully match, but kind of. Then after that, the thing I want to see the most is Ichika development after the OVA, because this is when it gets funnier. Because if I'm not wrong, I think in the volumes in the light novel, after that whole arc, he's supposed to get more smarter in a way. He acts less dense. There you go. Because the reason he acts dense is because 1, he might die from the girls trying to kill him. 2, I think it's because he's not 100% sure of if they actually like him, or is this because he's the only guy in that school. So after this, the little OVA, or basically the Purge, the Pure World arc, he's supposed to know more, and he's more confident about that. And the other thing that I would love to see is basically how he acts to that. Then after that, this is a major one that we're probably never going to see for a while. It's the ending of Stratos. Like, how is this going to end? Is this going to end in, like, Flaming Glory, baby, and fucking Ichika comes in and destroys the Phantom Task? Or is it going to have, like, an open ending? And Phantom Task, don't get me wrong, it's still defeated, but it has this open ending of, oh, well, we don't know who you choose. It's just the future, or some shit like that. So that was the interesting part about that, is I would love to see the ending. Because there's multiple ways this can end. The only thing I know, it's not gonna end on a dark fucking note, because this series isn't dark. It isn't like Goblin Slayer. Well, Goblin Slayer isn't dark. Like Berserk, it isn't like Berserk. It isn't like Corpse Party or anything like that. So it cannot. I won't say it cannot, but it probably won't end on a dark note of each get kidnapped and everybody dies. So either, or who knows, maybe get an epilogue of what happens, a couple years later, and he's married to whoever. So that's the important thing about Season 3. Season 3 could conclude this whole series, and we can finally see what's up with Ichika core, why he was able to use it, and basically more about Ichika, Chifuya, and Madoka past, and who the fuck is their parents. So basically, that's the point about Season 3. And in general, it'd be awesome to see this. But the reason I created this video is because I doubt it's going to happen. There's a reason why I doubt it. 1, the light novel isn't over, and the series in general, been 5 years since the last season was made, so I really doubt it's going to be created, because I think it's like either 7 or 5 years gap. It's the top of waiting for a series to make another season. Anyways, this is the video, start of a new series. Sure, I don't mind it being this long. I do want these videos to be short, like 10 minutes probably. And basically, I hope you guys like this kind of format of doing these videos because I'm planning to make more of it. Because I have other series I want to talk about that deserves a remake, a sequel, or adaptation. And I can't wait to introduce some of the mangas I've been reading. So I can't wait to introduce more of these videos. So I hope you like, subscribe, thanks for watching, and check me out next time. Peace, guys.